What's going on, everybody? This Afro Think Tank. Excuse me for the dark video, but we don't have choices at the moment. And I got an idea or thought that I needed to get out because I wanted to tell you guys. And so here we are. So what I want to talk about is the black family and why it is important that we make it cool and we make it acceptable for our young children to get married, right? When I say young children, I'm my young adult children. You know, our children, they need to be thinking about marriage. They need to be thinking about marriage and young. Right now, they're living in a society that tells them that they should be promiscuous because promiscuity is being used to sell everything and to convince us to do things, right? Convince us to go places, right? Because of marketing. So we black people, we lost of our African conservative values, right? And we started to give in to Western society, which is barbarism, right? And we live in a capitalist system, which is barbarism plus capitalism. Barbarism plus capitalism with a barbarian, right? So we've picked up some of those barbaric habits, right? And that is not valuing the family, right? Our women are quick to open their legs because they want to be pleased equally like the man, right? Right? And that thinking, though, you know, if you are a woman, you can do what you want. Everybody deserves to get their rocks off when they're adults, and two consenting adults could do that. But understanding that a woman's value is in her fresh and suppleness. And all women should know this. And these are the things that women should be passing down to their mothers. Their mothers should be passing down to their daughters and to their granddaughters, because the thing is, as beautiful as you ladies are, because my God, you black women are beautiful, right? And black does not crack. We understand that, right? You ladies be looking young all the way up into your damn 50s, 60s sometimes, right? But what you need to understand is when you guys were peaked out, you internally remember when you was at your best, because y'all spent quite a bit of time trying to get back to that, right? When you were there, you wasted your time enjoying the fact that you had these privileges based off your aesthetics, right? So you enjoyed yourself and you utilized your aesthetic capital to enjoy yourself over an extended period of time. But remember, time don't care about nobody, right? So while you're enjoying yourself because you feel like you should have the right to, because women should have the right to do everything men do, and you want to be free and you don't want to be bogged down, locked down, you don't want to be told what to do, you want to, do what you saw on TV. You want to do what you see in the music videos. You want to do what you saw in the movies. You want to do what everybody else is doing, right? You want to do what you see all the other people doing. Because you did that, you spent all that time enjoying yourself when you should have been using your aesthetic capital to lock down a solid man and a great foundation for your future, right? Which is children. Because a lot of y'all women, y'all want kids, right? Y'all all talk about y'all want kids, right? But y'all don't want husbands, right? Y'all want the kid. Y'all quick with the kid, which is a bigger and more important and more serious investment, right, than a marriage. A marriage is just two people agreeing that they're going to live this life together. You can always get unmarried, right? You can always move on from the marriage. You can always get another one, right? You could do that, right? But a child is a spirit. You agreed to bring a spirit in this world, right? And don't tell me that you guys just don't take that. You take that lightly. You think that bringing a spirit in this world, agreeing to have sex with a person, with the risk of bringing a spirit in the world, you think that is less serious than two people just agreeing to be married, right? But yet we don't value, one before the other. You ladies should be using your aesthetic advantage at its peak to be sewing down a man, right? And I know how difficult it is because these men ain't shit, right? And most of these men, what do they do? Right? They get out here and they just want to put their thing in everything. But that's what men are meant to do. All right? Men are meant to put our thing in everything. That's just how we operate, right? That's our biology. We can't help ourselves, right? And women got to understand that, we can't help ourselves. So usually, right, you hear the phrase, women mature quicker than men, right? Because women, y'all kind of have to, because you're on the timer, and that's the truth. No matter, you may look pretty on the outside, black don't crack, we understand that, but biology is biology. The real world is the real world, and your body is on the time clock, right? Men, we don't have a time clock, because we're meant to die early. We're physical creatures, right? We're meant to compete. Our bodies are meant to be strong to protect. We're meant to think, we're meant to think the way we think in order to compartmentalize life, to build structure around the woman who is the bringer of life. That's why you guys are so emotional, because you bring the emotion. That's the femininity, right? It's a yin and a yang type of thing, right? So there's a reason why we all act the way we act. There's a reason why men do that, because women been calling men dogs for the longest. All right, monogamy is a relatively new thing, right? That's used by the United States government and Christianity, capitalism, in order to put 4 blocks together for tax purposes. That's the only reason it's for, tax purposes. If it wasn't for that, nobody would even care. Plus, you got all them white people in the middle of America. They got 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 wives. They got whole towns and cities in the middle of America where white people are doing that shit and ain't nobody talking about it, while these white folks judge everybody else for living the way they want to live. You know what I'm saying? But our black men need to learn how to be men. They're not learning how to be men because they don't have examples. Because our men have been under attack. So we've always been on the battlefield fighting, right? We're the enemy number one, right? All tricks and all buffer classes are meant to attack us. We are the main target. Even our black women are used as a buffer class to attack us, and black women need to understand that they are used as a buffer class to attack their black men, and they need to adjust themselves accordingly, right? And black men need to realize that you can be masculine and aggressive, but you're not supposed to be that towards your black woman. Your black woman needs to see your masculinity, but don't see a threat. The problem is, a lot of you guys don't understand what masculinity is. You think aggression is masculinity. You think that manly things you've seen on TV is masculinity. You think that Rambo is masculinity. That the Navy SEALs, that's masculinity. You think that, football and people crash into each other in cars and diesel, and you think that's masculinity. No, that's just stuff. All right, masculinity is more than that. It transcends. That's nothing. Right? You got to understand, a woman, when they look at a man, they need to know that he's strong, powerful, and can protect, and that she can feel comfortable enough to be soft underneath a man that's going to use all of that power that she can see and recognize to protect her, and never, ever within that relationship will that power be used against her. She needs to have security. You understand? So when you strong as a man, you got to be strong, but you got to be soft with your woman. We black men have to be soft with our black woman. And women need to learn how to be soft to the black men. And we got to do it in our both ways, right? Because, the black family and the institution of the black family, remember when church, because the black family, we used to operate and we used to commune in church, right? It doesn't matter what religion we practice. If we're Christians as a black family, guess what's happening? If back in the day, and this is what I do like about how we are, but this is not just because it's Christianity, it's because it's how black people are, no matter what religion we practice. Our women, once the man leads the woman into whatever it is that he's practicing, right? Whether it's African tradition, whether it's Christianity, whether it's Islam, whether it's Judaism, because even in Africa, if a man is from another tribe and a woman is from another tribe, when you bring that woman over, you're bringing that and you're leading that woman into the new tribe. She has to learn all the ways of being within that tribe, all the rules, regulations, the things that you can't do, the legalities, and all the bits and pieces, right? But once a woman gets involved and gets investment into anything she's led into, she goes ball to the wall, right? That's like our women, what they do when they get a job. They go balls to the wall. That's why everybody love hiring black women. They don't play that shit. Once they get a task, they do it. That's why black Africans are the only people who ever had a Dora Milaje. Why you got these white folks wishing they had goddamn Xena, and they wishing they had all these goddamn warrior women and Joan of Arc. They wish that shit was true. They wish they fantasized about having women that take action like that while being feminine at the same time. They wish, right? So the thing is, in the black community, if once the woman is led into the church, right, then the pattern of when we go into church happens, right? So what happens is that person will go to church, and guess what happens? When the husband who led that woman in the church decides he don't feel like going to church because he want to watch football, or because he want to do something else because he'll feel like getting up, or he don't believe what that pastor say, or whatever, or he bored. When that wife say, you getting your ass up, we going to church, go get them kids, let's go. Guess what? The husband reluctantly get his black ass up and he goes, right? So that's two people in the church. So that means the church was doubled. Back then, the church was the foundation for our political power. So that means when we had political candidates, we had double the power. We had double the organization, because not only did we had a room full of women with ideas and passion, because it's the thing about our culture as black people is that we culturally, because you got to remember, and this is some real shit, we African people have literally been doing this human thing for millions of years. We've literally traveled around the planet on behalf of humanity. Okay? Like, this is no bullshit. I'm not just gassing you up. This is a goddamn truth. Okay? We had to defeat 4 and compete with 4 other Homo sapiens. We had to compete with other. Look, we battling white folks now, part of our own human race. Before they came along, before our children came along, we had to battle whole different humanoid species just for us all to be here today. African people. Do you understand what I'm saying? That's how deep it goes. That's how deep it goes. And we did that with the family. We got history, so we know how to organize. So when we get together, we know that the family unit is not one of domination, but it's one of unity. Femininity and masculinity together, bonded, both doing their jobs, but understanding that in nature things are interchangeable. That's why in African culture, there are a lot of feminine gods who are both feminine and masculine and feminine. Same in the Hindu, same in the Southeast, a lot of Southeast Asian, those black gods, they're both, is the duality. Shit's deep, y'all. And the thing is, what we have done is we have adopted the cultural, spiritual mindset of our children we created, right? That's acting up right now because they ain't been here long enough to live long enough to know how to act like humans. But we've been doing it for 1,000,000 years. And instead of doing the root of everything else, what we doing? We listen to our children trying to put a goddamn circle inside a goddamn square block. You understand what I'm saying? That's what's happening here. And the thing is, if the black family does not get together and use the powers that we know we have, if we don't do that, we can talk all the shit we want on the internet about what the problems is, but ain't nothing ever going to happen. Because we are not moving towards what it is that we want. People say voting don't work. It voted when the black family was together. And sometimes when we say, you got to vote, sometimes you got to vote in other ways. You vote with your purse. Vote with your pocketbook. Vote with your wallet. When we boycott shit, we shut it down. That's the real world. They could tell us all they want is we're only 13% of America's population. Watch when we stop shopping at a place and let's see what that so-called 13% population do to any corporation that fuck with us. But it's just that we don't stay focused like a laser because we shining on everybody like a light, so everybody else can see. That's our goddamn problem. So when we put the family together, when we value our family, then we're in control of our education. Then we got the black man in the house. Then we got our children see an example what successful black people look like. Then we got the black man to protect the black woman and monitor his children. Then we have simpatico. Then we have masculinity and femininity working together, both doing their jobs, neither one lesser than the other, but The man is in charge, and the woman, you standing right next to your man, but he's in charge. But you also have authority, and what you say matters, and that's how it works, right? So, I mean, we really just need to, like, somehow. I mean, I know it's probably the thing is we've been struggling so hard with all the shit, and everybody been ignoring us. It's hard to get our shit together when we're constantly under attack, and that's the issue. You gotta get, I give ourselves a goddamn break, the benefit of the doubt. It's hard for us to do this when we're constantly legitimately under attack, biological attack, economic attack, physical attack, institutional attack, structural attack from everybody, from all white folks who want to maintain white supremacy and all POCs who want to be close to whiteness. So they throw us under the bus in order to benefit themselves, and they're all finding out that they're fools. Boo-boo. And that we were right the whole time. Now we being vindicated like shit. It's our time. But if you want to speed, if you want to accelerate this shit, we need to start valuing the family. Yes, it's true. That fucking shitty ass rap music is fucking our kids' heads up. Yes, music matters. What comes out of people's mouths matter. We need to change the narrative and take control of our children. Stop being afraid of them. And saying, fuck it. We need to grab them up and do what we used to do. Back when it worked. Back when we had a father and a mother. You need to, listen, we need to start going on dates. You need to start visiting family members. Start respecting the black relationship. Stop going, courting. We need to go back to courting. Women, stop giving it up so easy. Try to be a virgin. That's nice. And look for a man. Men, I understand. Have some discipline and earn that shit. Go do something with your life and be worthy of a woman. Be worthy of getting some. Because a lot of y'all got a lot of kids and y'all got a lot of women, but y'all ain't worth shit. Because y'all ain't never had the worth to build shit because everybody throwing it at you because they think you the man, but you not the man. You the softest, most feminist, most irresponsible one, but they value you because you are the product. The nigga. You know what I'm saying? While the black man standing right there. Every one of you beautiful black women that's waiting for Tyrone could have been married. All you had to do is give the guy that you was talking to about Tyrone a chance in the first place, and you would have been happy and married, satisfied with family. But that's not what you did. Yeah, that one stung, didn't it? Because that's the truth. The guy you called to complain about Terrence is the guy you should have gave a chance instead of Terrence. And that's the mistake y'all make every single time. And y'all ain't got no good aunties that's married that tell you. Your mamas ain't telling you. Because y'all about damn near the same age competing for the same dudes nowadays. Right? Why these dudes are about as feminine as they can be, don't know how to be a man. The thing is, this is age of information. You could just Google it, how to be a man. There's men out here you can structure yourself off after. There's things we can start valuing as black people. But first thing first, we need to value ourselves as black people. Value all black people. All black people lives matter to us. All of them. All right? So I just wanted to say that. I didn't have an opportunity to, do my normal thing. But I just wanted to say that while it was on my mind. But the black family is important, and we need to stitch that shit back together and put some respect on that shit. Because that shit is powerful. Because if it wasn't, why would the white man be spending billions of dollars and hundreds of years to break that shit up? Think about that shit. Anyway, that's all I got to say. It's Afro Think Tank. Learn some, teach some. I'm out.